everyone, and welcome to episode 200. Can't believe it, 200 of Fans of Power. I'm Joe Amato, and I'm here with Nathan Kennedy. And damn, Nathan, 200! I can't believe that. That is crazy.
That's a lot of episodes, and you've already gone through a couple co-hosts too along the way. So, how about that?
No, like I said, you never know what the future will hold and everything. But no, it's been an amazing, fun ride. Like I said, with everybody that's been on the show, and of course these lunatics in the chat room and all the listeners that go through iTunes and Podbean and everything else. But before we get rambling about some stuff and some of the things of recent news and topical stuff, you know what I got to do? Yep. I got to acknowledge everybody in the chat room.
Everybody in the chat room.
Yep, I see Joe Amato. He was the first one to post.
Whoa,
so Joe Amato.
Wow, Joe Amato first.
What a dick. Zentron, Papa Huds, who was the winner last week, or not last week, our last episode of the trivia. So congratulations again on that. Matthew Dutch, Anthony Albanese, JSP, Grimbot, Miharu the Fox. I'm scrolling down. Just I want to make sure I didn't get. Jason Johnston and Benjamin Bowie. Oh, Ben Bowie. Thanks. What's up, Ben? And Brad Collins. I think I got everybody. Didn't see a Zen Brown. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's sick. He's usually there in the chat room.
Well, give it time.
Yeah, I'm sure he might pop up. But like I said, we have some topical things and some other things that'll be interesting to show and discuss. But before that, I got to ask Nathan one thing. Nathan, did you get the Popeye's chicken sandwich? I know everybody else is probably wondering, what's this got to do with He-Man? But when we were doing our Beyond Retro the other day, I told him I wanted to go to Popeye's Chicken just to get a nice 7-piece dark spicy. That's all I wanted.
$5.99, by the way.
$5.99, by the way. Don't forget that 7-piece dark is only $5.99 at Popeye's. So I wanted that. But I couldn't get it because the place was jam-packed in the drive-thru and everywhere else because, of course, everybody's going for the chicken sandwich, and this is a permanent part of the menu. It's not a special that's going to go away, but people I don't know. I guess they don't know that. So did you get a Popeye's chicken sandwich?
I went out today and got a Popeye's chicken sandwich. The drive-thru was wrapped around the entire store. The parking lot looked kind of full, but once I got inside, it was okay. And usually with Popeyes, you kind of have to wait a little bit anyway after you order. They have original and they have spicy. I went with the original, just to try it out. And I don't see why people are getting stabbed for this thing, Joe. It
was good though. It had to be good. That does look good.
It was all right. Like, it was fine. It was a chicken sandwich. Like, I didn't have a lot of mayonnaise on it, but I honestly wasn't that impressed. I want to go back and try the spicy version because it has a different sauce and everything, but yeah.
Well, that's a shocker. I thought you were going to say it was amazing. Looks great.
Yeah. If you like Popeye's chicken, like, you're going to love this, and I like Popeye's chicken, but I just don't see what the fuss was about.
Okay, well, I'll see what...
It's a chicken sandwich.
All right, well, I guess I'm going to see what my opinion is whenever I do get this. But, yeah, I guess it's definitely not worth killing people over and destroying your cars going through drive-thrus like the insanity we've seen, which is, that's a shame. But
crazy.
Well, at least you got to taste it, though. But you're right, it's just a chicken sandwich.
Was it worth the 45-minute drive? Probably not, but I stopped by the Target that was down there and got Sam from Trick or Treat. That NECA put out the cloth version. It's not the ultimate, but it's like... Yeah, so I got that sitting on the shelf over there.
That looks cool. Maybe you have to show it later in the show. Yeah. And El Tenda, thank you for joining us. Let me see. And Fedmon said, what's the 7-piece dark for $5.99 come with? No, it's just the 7-piece dark for $5.99. If you want the biscuits and the other stuff, it takes it up to $10.99. I'm like, I don't care about the biscuits and the drink. Just give me the chicken.
But the biscuits at Popeyes are pretty banging, though.
They are, but I just want my chicken. I just get hungry like they get ravenous. But there's a couple topical things, like I said, and of course some stuff from the past and other stuff we'll be talking about. But before that, Nathan, I got to put you on the spot.
Yes.
You came up with the idea last time on the last episode that people could post in the comments for our last episode of what Masters of the Universe meant to them. And I said, I'm just going to put it all on Nathan. I'll let Nathan be the winner. I mean, not the winner, the one who chooses the winner.
I get a copy of the book, too. Awesome.
It's like, you get it. You don't win. But no, so don't get mad at Nathan. It's like I said, this is his choice. Everybody's comment was great. But Nathan's going to pick the winner. And don't forget, we're going to have many more chances for you guys to win a copy of the Power and the Honor Foundation catalog.
I mean, Joe does have like 268 more ways to give out.
Not that many, but I'm curious because I don't even know who Nathan picked. That's
Well,
why
yeah.
I'm kind of.
Well, we had a handful of responses, and most of them were great. I mean, all of them are great, but ultimately, I decided to go with, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce his last name. For me, it either goes one or two ways, but the winner is Mike Champ or Mike Champ, however you would like to
Okay.
pronounce that. So there we go. Get in contact with Joe, and he will mail you a copy of the Power and Honor Foundation book.
All right, congratulations, Mike. Like I said, I did not have an idea of who Nathan was going to pick, but I was just curious. I was like, well, we'll see what Nathan can do. So that's why, just in case somebody got mad, I was like, you guys can't chew me out. But no, nobody's going to get mad at Nathan. Like I said, it's everybody had great responses. But so yeah, congratulations, Mike. And okay, well, before we start getting into some of the other discussions, we'll get to a couple topical things. One, Brian Flynn, I think it was like over a week ago, they accidentally sent out emails to everybody saying Snake Mountain shipping. Everyone's like, what? And of course, Brian Flynn, he got on board and said, no, Snake Mountain is not shipping. That was like some mistake that was sent out to everybody. But Brian Flynn did show a test shot of Snake Mountain, I think, on his Facebook page, and he might have put on Instagram too. So you see it all in black, and it's an early test shot, which looks cool.
It looks good. That thing is massive.
That's big. So let's just hope that the final piece, once it's completely set out and all painted and everything, let's hope it's in great quality and the plastic's strong and the paint apps are good and it's going to be worth everybody's money, because that was a lot of money spent on that Snake Mountain.
Yeah, I'd be kind of concerned with the size of the box that it comes in, if there's any assembly that you have to do on your part, if they're going to sort of like break it up in a way to pack it safer or whatever. So
you know what's weird, and it's been so long, and I hope somebody in the chat room can tell me, but I have the Classics Castle Grayskull sitting down right over there, but I couldn't remember how it came. I was like, did I have to snap anything together? I actually couldn't remember if it just came already together with everything in it. But I mean, of course, the bag stuff of everything got to put, the weapons rack, those are separate. But I couldn't remember if Castle Grayskull came in two pieces or if it was snapped together. So, I mean, they got to do something to make sure to guarantee safety, though, because this looks so delicate. I would be afraid if it was completely snapped both sides together with those like spikes that come out. You think that, God, man, I hope those suckers don't break. So maybe those are parts you'll plug in. There's got to be parts you plug in.
I figured there has to be some sort of assembly to it, because if they just put it all together, then you definitely run the risk of getting it in pieces being like broken off or something. So. See how it goes.
All right, so that's at least the thing with Snake Mountain. And the last thing that popped up out of nowhere, like I said, we were off last week, so we didn't get a chance to mention it, but out of nowhere, Mondo released that Scareglow. Mm-hmm. The big ass, like those big figures they have, like that He-Man one I have. And it looks amazing. And what's got everybody panicked was when it first went on sale, it was like sold out in 3 minutes. And everybody was like, damn it, I missed it. But then it came back up again. Like maybe that was just in Windows or it could have been an error. So I think as of currently now, it's still available. Yeah. But Nathan, you wanted to say something about they have a type of payment plan for, people who don't want to.
I'm looking at it right here. It gives you the options to add to cart or domestic payment plan or international payment plan. And basically what you have to do, and I'm kind of considering going with a payment plan here, you have to sign up for a partial.ly account. I'm not familiar with using that, but it shows over here on the side. It's got like the sign up, but off to the side it has it where it says it'll give you the subtotal. The shipping cost on this thing is $27. So looking at it now, it would bring the total to $212, and then it shows me here down payment due today $63.60. And then underneath that, it says balance paid in 6 months, frequency 6 months, flexible, number of payments, payment amount. I'm assuming all of that stuff you can kind of alter to your liking once you sign up for this account. I haven't done it yet. I've been kind of wary about pulling because I mean it is a lot of money, but I think it would be well worth it for the scale and the size, and especially since I don't have a Scareglow and no one's mailed me any.
Sending you one. Yeah, this is your way of getting one.
It's a way of getting something.
Yeah, because if this one inflates in price, you're never going to be able to get it if it's already close to 200. So yeah, you definitely probably want to jump on that while you can, especially if there's some kind of payment plan you said that's available. So that's good for people who don't want to fork out that big amount in one big shot.
Yeah.
But okay, now a couple topics. One, we'll be showing and discussing like all the original waves of Masters of the Universe figures and which is your favorites and why. But before that, I want Nathan to throw up a picture of He-Man that I sent him, because there was another discussion that just popped up recently. I was like, you know what? Maybe this has been discussed before, but maybe I'll go into a little more detail. And plus, sometimes having a picture for reference, sometimes you can like get your point across a little better. But okay, it's a little stretch, but it's still good. This piece here, which you rarely ever see, it's from one of the vintage coloring books, and it almost has like an Alcala vibe. And I'm not saying Alcala did it, because I know he worked on some of the sticker books that they had, as for the colored up stickers and even the black and white pieces. But either way, this is early He-Man, and what you see, for those who aren't watching this and might be just listening on iTunes later on, you see He-Man just laying up against a rock, and it looks like he's just exhausted. He's completely exhausted. And Man-at-Arms is pulling up on a sky sled. What you have here is somebody that never stops working, somebody that never stops being a hero, somebody that, you know what, even heroes need a time to rest. In this piece, I don't know who the artist was that drew it, but for me, it's always so powerful because you never see He-Man, looking like this. And like I said, this was early on stuff, but I was wondering, what is he trying to interpret? Like this poor man, who built his house with his fists. Remember, he punched rocks and created, this is He-Man, who punched rocks to create his own house, who's nonstop fighting against Skeletor, all the evil warriors and whatever else. Picture somebody like this just trying to get a break, trying to have some time to himself, because he's probably never being stopped of asked, can you do this? Can you help me with this? And I pictured He-Man going around like a rock after he was in some kind of epic battle and just collapsing like this out of exhaustion, just hoping, God, I want 5 minutes to sleep. That's it, just some rest. And here comes Man-at-Arms, bam, up, on the sky sled saying, He-Man, we've been looking for you. You're needed. And probably thought, oh, okay, here we go. Like, yes, you're a hero and it's your job, but sometimes you would like to relax. And with that, I want Nathan to pop up another piece real quick. It'll take a second for me to see it, because I know we're on a 30-second delay, so even I have to wait till I see this piece come up. But this piece kind of will explain something a little bit better. Okay, and now I don't know. Now, Nathan, is it a way to ship that over, or will it stay right on top of it? Either way, it doesn't matter. I didn't know if you could ship that side by side, or just only keep one up at a time.
Well, I do have one that has them both up. Do you want that one?
Okay, well, you say, okay, well, they see this now, but yes, put them both up, because then I can explain the context of this, since they will be side by side. But in the piece that he put up second, you see Prince Adam, and Prince Adam is just laying up against a tree. He's got a book, something he's reading. He's just literally smelling the roses. It's not a rose, but he's relaxing, smelling, cringes off playing. And that's a luxury, meaning I hear so many people, and it came up again recently, that secret identities are stupid, they're not needed. And especially for He-Man, Prince Adam, who cares? Why doesn't everybody just know that Prince Adam's He-Man? This could be why. Now, while He-Man, the picture we seen earlier, was before Prince Adam, now let's bring in the context of this. Eventually, yes, Prince Adam was introduced into Masters of the Universe and created the dual identity. And a lot of people say, the secret identity is stupid. Everybody should be able to know who's who. It's just, there's nothing important to it. Well, you know what? Besides the typical thing of what everybody always says of, yes, a secret identity, it's important because not only do you want to protect your family and your friends, because you know that if everybody knows, oh, Prince Adam's He-Man, well, if I, abduct somebody in his family or his closest friend, then maybe he'll do my bidding as He-Man. But then also the other flip to that. If somebody knows Prince Adam is He-Man, well, Jesus, they could just sit there and shoot him as Prince Adam, or just kill him as Prince Adam and don't have to worry about He-Man. No fighting. That's the end of that. But think of this. Not only about all the stuff you want to protect yourself and your family, but just that there. Prince Adam has that luxury. Like when he turns into He-Man and saves the day, he could turn back into Prince Adam and relax and not worry about somebody always coming up like, let's say they knew Prince Adam was He-Man, for an example, and he's trying to do what he's doing right there. They want to leave him alone, because not only about coming to save the day, think about in real life. How many times do you always get asked by people, as just being a normal person, can you do this, can you do that, can you do that? And it's like you never have time for yourself. Picture being a hero like that. They wouldn't stop. Any menial thing like, He-Man, my husband's sick and I need somebody to dig these ditches to keep the river from coming towards my house or something. He'd have to go do that. He-Man, there's a log in the road. You got to move it so we can get into the village. It's like, well, why can't other villagers do it? See, so if they knew that Prince Adam's He-Man, Prince Adam wouldn't have that moment right there. And also, He-Man wouldn't have rest. You can't tell me, seeing the man in that first picture, how tired he is, if he was able to turn and say, you know what, let the power return, he knows when he's Prince Adam, he can relax and doesn't have to be worried about being bugged every single second. Yes, does he know he's got to save the day and be the hero? Yes, but he'll never have that luxury of like how Prince Adam is if somebody would know that He-Man and Prince Adam are one and the same. And I'd like your thoughts on that, Nathan, but I've seen it pop up in groups again. I'm like, I don't get it. For the people that, and it pertains especially to like the new She-Ra that came up, everybody was like, hey, well, the new She-Ra, like, hey, everybody knows that Adora and She-Ra is the same person. Who cares about secret identity? And it's stupid for He-Man and Adam. And I was like, oh, don't get me started with the He-Man Adam, but go.
Originally, the plan was Joe was going to talk about season 4 of She-Ra because I think deep down, secretly, Joe really likes that show.
Shut up, and hello, Zen Brown.
Yeah, you made it. As far as the secret identity thing, I think that it's sort of essential. Look, all the things that we absorb, like think of all the comic heroes that we've grown up with, secret identities. Like for it to just not exist, kind of, I feel like that takes away a lot of things that you can do. I think it's kind of neat, especially that. Why did you put your name on the bottom of that, by the way, Joe? Did you did you alter it and do something to it?
Well, just to let you know, and I'll show people side by side, I redrew that entire picture and even added and altered a lot of stuff and then colored it. It's just originally a black and white photo with just super thick lines. Some things were uneven. No, I shouldn't say they were uneven. That was the artist's vision. I did not mean to say that. It was just thick, and I was like, you know what? I wanted to change stuff. So I redrew the whole thing, and then I added different things onto it. And anybody that's seen the black and white will be able to know I see all the differences Joe did. So yes, I redrew the whole thing, and then I colored it in.
Oh, right on. Good job. Okay, I am kind of curious to see the original side by side with that. But I mean, I don't know. Secret identities, I think, just need to be there. I honestly, probably just because they've always been there in existence. So that's just how I've always absorbed that material. Sorry, Joe, I don't have like this big super elaborate.
No, I was like I said, I was curious, and because then I was seeing like people's responses in the chat room. Like Grimbot said, simply put, the villains would know where to concentrate their attacks, which is true, yeah. And Papa Hut said He-Man needs to tell everybody to screw themselves. Femon said the man needs time to romance Teela Glimmer, cast a spell for. I get you. Zen Brown said howdy. Miharu the Fox said, well, my response to that is that the new She-Ra has a different story, so the secret identity isn't needed. No, I mean, it's true. Like I said, they did go in a different direction with that, so I do completely understand. It was just when they were talking from the get-go, before the cartoon even came out, of why they didn't want to do the secret identity. But no, and you're right, it makes sense. And Zen Brown said nice work on the picture, so thank you. Miharu said the original story made sense for her to have the secret identity, so it worked. He said, and she said, I'm okay with it either way. But no, it's true. But it's just when some people will, in general, just say for the He-Man and Adam thing. Like, I didn't like that in a lot of the new DC comic stuff for He-Man, that everybody knew that, He-Man and Prince Adam are the same person. I was like, oh, it just drove me nuts. I was like, well, okay, then why wouldn't they? I always did the thing that it wouldn't piss people off. They were like, you make sense, Joe. I always said, all right, Triclops sees Prince Adam. Boom! Uses a blaster to blow his head off. There you go. And there went Prince Adam, so there is not going to be a He-Man. Where He-Man is, you figure stronger, he's going to, be able to take this. I'm not saying He-Man can take a blast to the head, but you know what I mean.
Right.
The fight, and you're ready for the fight. And I would think, you're just going to kill Prince Adam. So I wasn't a fan of the DC stuff. So it shows that, yes, it's not like I like everything He-Man. And, or hate everything that's new. There's some things I love and hate, which we'll find out, and I think in 2 weeks, when the new Masters of the Universe, the multiverse thing comes out for that comic. So I'm curious to see, because that damn Grimbot, I'm going to mention something. Grimbot, you still didn't mention, I think it's fake, and I think Matthew Dutch even tried to ask him. Grimbot posted a picture of a page from the upcoming Masters of the Universe multiverse comic. and he knows I don't look at spoilers or anything like that. But something was in that where it was like this weird text, and it was like Evelyn saying things that just seemed out of place, and I was like, did you alter that or is that real? And he never responded, so I'm going to see if he says anything in the chat room, because I was like, if that's the real text in this upcoming comic, that's horrible. So he might have pulled a Joe Amato, because you know how I always do the fake pictures, and I say, altered by Joe Amato, I'll sneak it somewhere on the ad.
And everybody believes it, yeah.
But yeah, because that's the thing. I don't want people to think, oh my God, was it real? So I let them off the hook. Grimbot didn't let me off the hook. And I bet he's not going to respond back in the chat room on that part. So, I think we'll have just to leave it as that.
Well, it has been brought up in the chat, and I guess it kind of ties into this. But Joe, I mean, you kind of do have an alter ego, and your real life is like a secret identity kind of thing. So, yeah, you do have a...
Yeah, see?
It creates a mystique.
And
it protects him from the feds. If they can't see his face, then they won't know exactly who he is.
You're right. I guess a little bit of a secret identity, and it's a gimmick I do. But think of it. Half the time, would you want to know like what somebody looks like? Okay, for example, this is the stupidest context in the world, but Kane in the WWF, he was always so mysterious with that damn mask, and he never talked. And then one day they gave him a thing to stick to his throat, and he starts talking like that, and then eventually
But I already knew that his previous gimmick was Isaac Yankem DDS. So I knew what he looked like under there, and Fake Diesel too.
And fake Diesel, but some didn't. But it kind of ruined the mystique of the character of when he was unmasked and you seen that face. I remember how let down I was like, that's it. It's like you can't go back now. You can't go back now. So yeah, I don't want to take it like, oh, that's Joe. Yay. So
but to be fair, they were already ruining his gimmick before they even took his mask off anyway.
Yeah.
Two words, Joe. Katie Vick.
What's a Katie Vick? Am I going to be stupid and out of the loop here? What is that?
You don't remember Katie Vick?
Katie Vick?
Yeah, when he was feuding with Triple H, and he was like, I know the truth. And then it turns out that like Kane had a girlfriend in high school, and like she died in a car wreck, and he was behind the wheel or something. Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, see?
That sounds
you done blocked that part out.
All right, well, then I guess that does sound familiar, but okay. Well, and Grimbot said he did. That was all. Thanks, Grimbot. I wasn't sure, man, but there, he let me off the hook. Let me see. Meow Road Fox said, shows nowadays tend to go in the direction of heroes don't get a break until it's all over, but you're right. We do need more of these moments, and it's true, we do. Let me see. All right, well, I think that might have been it. There's Lyle Convoy just popped up. Hey, you just jumped in too late, Lyle. I guess you're at least, if anything, going to see something about some of the best waves or what your favorite wave is. But we'll go into that probably right now. So we did the secret identity thing. So now you can throw up another picture, and then I'd like to hear people's thoughts in the chat room on which ones were theirs. But we'll discuss this a little bit, and it might even stir up some memories. And after that, of course, we go into questions from anybody in the chat room. But, all right. Here we go with like what maybe is your favorite wave of Masters of the Universe figures from back in the 80s. And you see in wave 1, you got He-Man, Beastman, Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, Merman, Stratos, Zodak, Tila. Wave 2, you got Trapjaw, Evelyn, Triclops, Ram Man, Faker, and Mannyface. Damn, look at all these characters in these waves. It's, you don't even, I guess you take it for granted. Here's the thing though. I don't think they were all, if my memory serves me correct, even though they're each calling, like when it gets to wave 3, 4, 5, 6, there's tons of characters. I didn't remember as a kid them being released at the same time. Maybe within the same year. Maybe is that why they call a certain wave? Because like when you look at wave 3, you got 12 characters. When you go to wave 4, it's 13, and then it increases in 5 and 6. So they started getting nuts. But I'm curious to know what your guys' favorite wave was from all the waves 1 through 7. 7 really did, well, I was almost not going to do 7 because 7 has just Laser Light Skeletor and Laser Power He-Man.
Yeah,
but you know what?
I don't think anyone's going to be picking that one, Joe.
Well, the only reason I left it up is we do have international fans that listen to us, and hell, even in the United States, maybe somebody finally got a hold of these, and because they're so rare and special, it might be their favorite. So that's why I put it up there. But I'm curious to see. Well, Zen Brown, he picked Wave 1, which is, well, it's the old school stuff. So you got, the original 8 there.
Yep.
Grimbot says you can't pick just one wave. That's cool. Well, that's why I do it, Grimbot. I want people to make a choice. Adam Gabbert, thank you for joining us. This is amazing. Lyle Convoy said, honestly, Wave 3. Love the battle armor. Okay, well, let's say what Wave 3 was. That's when you got Prince Adam, Orko, Mechanic, Fisto, Buzzoff, Battle Armor He-Man, Battle Armor Skeletor, Clawful, Jitsu, Cobra Khan, Webstor, and Whiplash, which those were all friggin' awesome. Fedmon's picking 3 and 4. Well, let's say what's in 4. Roboto, Mossman, Cyclone, Thunder Punch, He-Man, Hordak, Grizzlor. You started getting the Horde, Mantena, Leech, Modulok, Too Bad, Stinkor, Spikor, and Dragon Blaster Skeletor. So those are all awesome too. Matthew Dutch said never do the waves as a kid, but wave 4 is his favorite. So there you go. I'm going to get to the other waves while you might be able to see where I leave off, but I'm going to get to wave 5. That had Flying Fist He-Man, Extendar, Terraclaw Skeletor, King Hiss, Ratlord, Tongue Lasher, Dragstore, Hurricane Hordak, Horde Trooper, Multibot, Snout Spout, Rio Blast, and Stone Darn Rock-On. And then here came the Whopper. Here came Wave 6. This some bitch. I at least know reason why I like one part of this, but you got the Sorceress King Randor, Gwildor, Clamp Champ, Blast Attack, Tongue. I accidentally. What the hell did I do? I accidentally put one in the. Did I just put a double? I accidentally put one in there of the same one. I might have accidentally put 2 in the same wave because, I don't think he was there. Blade, Ninjor, Jesus, Sorod, Scareglow, Buzzsaw Hordak, Mosquitor, Snakeface, Squeeze, the Giants, which weren't here in the United States. Others could have them. Then you had the Energy Zoids, Rotar, and Twistoid, and the 10 Meteorbs. And then Wave 7 is just the laser figures. But I want to see where I left off. I'll see what everybody said, and then I'll say what my favorite. And I'm curious what you might have liked.
Well, a lot of people are going with either 1 through 4, but we did get. I'm quite fond of the experimental waves like 5 and 6, but they still went with Wave 3. It's mostly like that. Those first core waves, anywhere between 1, 2, or 3. I would kind of agree with that and lean more towards that, but there is the part of me that enjoys the variety that you get with Wave 6. And not only that, but how expensive some of those guys are now. But you kind of...
They are. They all kind of get super expensive, but especially as they say, and you're right, Matthew Dutch, I accidentally flopped in Tongue Lasher back in the 6 when he should have been in 5s. I mean, I had him in 5, but I think when I was photoshopping, I might have did a double boom boom because you see they're right next to each other. It was when I was resizing, so my mistake. But go ahead, back to you.
Well, you kind of wonder because, I was born in 84, so by the time I was 4 or 5, like... while these figures are still on the shelves, like the popularity was definitely declining.
Mm-hmm.
Were any of these guys in Wave 5 and Wave 6 kind of just warming the pegs? Was this a thing no one was really starting to pick them up? Do you think most...
Well, what's weird?
I imagine most of these were purchased in these first 4 waves.
Well, that's the thing. As a kid, I just thought I always remembered everything selling quickly, but I'm sure there were stores that maybe once it possibly got to Wave 5, hypothetically, I don't know, maybe they started kind of warming a little bit. Then when it got to Wave 6, maybe a little more, and then, of course, then it went away. But I remember anytime I'd see something, I got super excited. The reason Wave 6 is a little more attached to me is because I remember that was the first time I was able to buy something with birthday money. Everything else was always just, I got it from everybody in the family, the relatives, they'd all give me a figure, blah, blah, blah. But I got $50 for my birthday, and I felt rich. I was in the mall with my mom, and we went to, I did. I felt like, God, man.
I bet when Joe gets $50 now, he still feels the same way.
I do. I still feel excited. But, man, I felt like I was on top of the world. We went to the mall and went to one of these little hobby stores, and when I went in there, holy Jesus, I was like, what's this, a sorceress? King Randor. And I was like, oh my God, Clam Champ, who's this? And I was like, Scareglow and Ninjor. I mean, I was going nuts, and I was able to get them all because I think they're only like $3.99 at the time or $4.99 at that store. So I was able to get all of them. But in the Meteorbs, I remember being at a Hills. That's where I got those. And I think they were priced $3.99 each. And I was able to get all of them.
Absolute best department store all time. Like
Miss Hills.
Yeah, I do too. You go in, you get an icy, get some popcorn. Buy some toys. Good times.
And it was, and that's where I would have meals too. Sometimes we'd go have a meal at Hills because they had the best chili, and they'd put it on their hot dogs. I said this story before. If you guys never heard it, Hills had the best chili in the city. So me and my dad would go there, and we'd get order their nachos, and they would slather it in chili and cheese, and that was our supper on Fridays back in the day. So it was good.
No, I'm sorry to laugh. I'm just thinking about how the Joe Amato rule has been instituted at most 7-Elevens and quick stops, where you can't. They don't encourage you to go in there and take your own bag or cup or anything to get more chili or cheese like Joe does.
It's the best way to do it. What's up, Michael Purvis? But no, here is the best way to do it. Just a quick little tip before we get back to this, because I'd like to know people's thoughts on maybe when they thought the wave started declining, in their opinion, not saying it was. But yeah, if you go to 7-Eleven, they always have that where you buy a little bag of these tortilla chips that are in this plastic container. And it says, that's to be bought and used with the chili cheese. And it says, take as much chili and cheese as you wish. Feel free to it. So instead of taking off that container and opening the bag and putting it in there and slathering the chips with chili and cheese, which becomes soggy by the time you get home, I keep the bag of chips sealed, and I take that container and fill it with as much chili and cheese as you can, close it up, and take it home, dip it, and then you got chili and cheese to eat later. See? That's a thrifty tip. I'm looking out for you guys. I don't want people being hungry like me. So there, if you want to make best use out of your money, that's what you got to do. But Zen Brown did have a cool one early. He was like, which wave does Wonder Bread fall under? We ain't going to touch that one. We're not going to touch the Wonder Bread thing. I don't know what mysterious wave that figure came out on. But let's say yes, I'm sure he's real. Don't know where from, but we'll never know that one. I also didn't mention about Faker being re-released in Wave 6, in case people are wondering why they didn't see that there, because, well, I already had Faker, and I know he was re-released, but yeah, I just didn't include him in Wave 6. But now I'm curious what wave maybe people thought it started going down, in their opinion. Me, I just never thought it did. I just loved it all. I loved the gimmicks, but some people, like when you talk to a lot of fans of Masters of the Universe, it's like how some people said here, they're like, I never even knew about a Wave 4 or 5, and they really didn't know about 6, so you wonder, maybe did they stop at Wave 3? I wonder if people did. Did they stop? And like Jason Johnson said, I felt Wave 5 was the decline for me. The line seemed to peak at 3 and 4. So it's almost what you said, Nathan.
Yeah.
Most people in the chat.
I mean, you can kind of just, since we have the visual here, you can actually see it. Mattel's starting to make a lot of money around Wave 3 and 4, and then they're like, well, let's keep pushing them out. So you end up with oversaturation and having that many characters in 5 and 6. And by that,
because you're right. I think that's the good reason putting this picture up here into context is look at Waves 1, not really, obviously not full of features, just the twist punch. Wave 2, the only kind of gimmicks you get are with Manny faces Triclops and Ram Man, and Trap Doll is unique. Wave 3, you get the Battle Armor gimmick, which was cool, and then some people with some big fists and claws. 4, you got Montana with the eye gimmick, Roboto with the gears, the Thunder Punch. So the gimmicks were starting to slightly get a little more intense in 4. But then when you got to 5, everything is basically a gimmick. You got the Flying Fist Heraclaws. You got Extendar, King Hiss busting out of a shell, Rattler's popping neck, Tongue Lasher's tongue. Dragstore is an actual vehicle kind of character. Hurricane Hordak, Exploding Horde Trooper, the Multibot, Snout Spout squirting. That didn't sound right. But a Snout Spout squirting out water. Rio Blast is a complete arsenal of weapons. And then Stone Darn Rock On are rocks that transform. So Wave 5, shit, I never really looked. And what's up, Kyle Kendall? Wave 5 started all gimmicks, didn't it? Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, and, well, you got to think of the trends that are going on around the time that this is still popular. Transformers is catching on. It's just toys are starting to evolve in a way that most people hadn't seen up until this point. So once all that starts flooding the market wave, then you kind of panic, I guess. I would imagine it's like, well, this is gaining steam. Well, we have to do something, and that maybe that's why you got most of those guys in Wave 5.
Yeah, and the thing is, I really got into the gimmicks, and everybody's saying like Miharu, and everybody's like me when I'm talking about Squirt and Snout Spout. He's like, yeah, that's one for the Twitter context. But I got into a lot of the gimmicks. I thought they were really cool. I know there was a lot of people that really hated on Snout Spout. Out of Wave 5, the most hate I've ever seen is always Snout Spout and Rio Blast. I mean, I loved them, but some people just felt like they were so out of place. But I think with Wave 6, you were able to bring in characters. You got some characters from the cartoon you were waiting to see. It's like, hey, finally got the Sorceress and King Brandor. And of course we had some of the movie figures, but you did have unique characters like Scareglow and Ninjor. And I loved the Snake Man when they gave Snake Face and Squeeze, and you get another Hordak and Mosquito. But the Energy Zoids, I think, unfortunately, and the Meteorbs, just, well, since that was the wave where pretty much if people were starting to get out on 5, here came 6, they really didn't know what the hell a Meteorbs were. And I've seen so many people were in groups where they post a picture of Rodar and Twistay that, it's those groups that say, help identify this. They're like, what are these? I'm like, oh, that's Rotar and Twistaway from He-Man. They don't look like He-Man figures. They sure don't. I mean, you look at them, they like they don't belong. So them and the Meteorbs just unfortunately got lost in the shuffle. But for ones who stuck around, they still loved and appreciated them for what they were.
Yeah, I like, honestly, if I were to pick a favorite wave just looking here, I would probably go with 1 or 2. But 6 just stands out to me because just the variety of the characters, and not to mention that's the one that I'm always kind of drawn to when you look at them, because it's the movie figures, which are neat. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Scareglow. Hey, anyone want to mail me one, feel free.
He's going to keep trying until he gets that Scareglow. And that was, for me, that was a perfect gimmick. Back in the late 80s. Well, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that there wasn't a glow-in-the-dark figure already out by this point.
Yeah, because that was a craze. Yeah. Everything was going dark. So when came Scareglow, I was like, oh, this is the coolest figure ever. And I remember, like I said, I had my shelves. The shelves that are over this way where I'm hanging my figures are the same shelves I had in my room way back when I was a kid. So when the lights went out, I just remembered how Scareglow would just illuminate there, and it looked so freaky. So, yeah, there's a personal, I think, attachment to that, but I really did love Wave 6. And let me see, Lionel Convoy said Snout Spout is a champion. Anyone says otherwise can get these hands. That sounds like a Braun Strowman thing. But, yeah, it seems, and people were wondering about some of the other stuff when we're talking about, like, the play sets and stuff. That'll be in a upcoming future episode where we talk about maybe your favorite beasts and steeds or play sets or something. So I didn't want to slam everything into this. Otherwise, that would have been one hell of a collage photo. Because you see how in Wave 6, I had to shrink the Meteorbs all the way down like this. It's like, I ain't got room for 10 Meteorbs there. And you're right, Evil and Steph did glow. You're right, Fedmon.
I'm kind of curious. Didn't you guys kind of talk about favorite figure wave at one point?
I couldn't remember if
I feel like I'm pretty sure you did, and I know Joe's memory is horrible, and I can't.
But that's why I wanted to do a different context of way I was doing it. That's why I did the display of this. It's a better way of
it's nice. It's nice to have the visual to see it all.
Yeah, now that I know Nathan has this ability to do this thing, it kind of can add to things that sometimes maybe were discussed but not in length, and maybe now it could be a little more in length. At least there's some pictures for people to look at. And then for those who just listen to us on iTunes, well, I guess they won't have a picture, but maybe it'll make them want to, I'm curious to see what this is.
That's why you need to come over to the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, and give the video a like, ring the bell so you get notified when we go live.
That's why we do it. But same thing with the secret identity. We did a certain way of that before, but not in that level in detail. And I'm saying, and by the way, if you guys, any of you that know me on Facebook or are friends with me on Facebook, if you want high res photos of that He-Man piece and also the Prince Adam one, I can get those for you because they're kind of low res and that's just an example, but they're beautiful pieces. Those coloring books are full of so many amazing things, and the stamp books, just beautiful art, but a lot of people either forgot about it or maybe never seen it. There was quite a few of those sticker books, coloring books, and all those other. There was a lot. So, some people maybe just never seen it. But I can get you high-res scans. Just message me on Facebook, and I can do that for you.
And make sure you PayPal him $7.50.
Yeah. Give me. Could you imagine? I'm trying to be nice guy.
You know what? PayPal him $10.99. That way he can get the chicken meal with the biscuits and fries.
Then I can finally, it's like I really do want them biscuits. I just can't afford $10, but $5.99 I could do that. Isn't that terrible if people thought Joe was such a nice guy, he's offering all these pictures for free. It's like, hey Joe, I'd like that picture, and they're messaging me. I'm like, okay, $5. What? That was like, I didn't want to say it on the podcast, but $5 for each picture.
Yeah, well, you have to keep that dead alive. It's like, oh, Joe's just a good guy, and then when you message him, he's just like a complete dick.
That'd be terrible. That would be different, but yeah, Jason Johnston. Yeah, I'll share this on Facebook later. I mean, of course, for the podcast, I'll pop it up in the different groups. But any of the pictures you guys want, you can of course message me. But that's at least discussing the waves. And yes, I'll edit the one picture, and then we can at least get that proper because of my double exposure. I was like, why the hell I put tongue lasher twice? But yeah, I'll get that out there. But now before we wrap it up though, if you guys have any questions you want to ask me and Nathan pertaining to anything from Masters Universe or anything else in general, this would be the time to do it right now. So while they're doing that, Nathan, was there anything you would have mentioned about any of the podcasts or things you wanted people to keep an eye out for?
Go ahead and check out Beyond Retro. Joe and I talked about the fan film Friday the 13th Vengeance and went into a variety of other topics, including a gumball tip, a thrifty tip that Joe has. So if you guys are kind of into his cheap-ass theories and things that he does, bounce over to the Beyond Retro channel, give us a sub and a like and all that stuff and whatnot. No, I don't have any recommendations. I wish I could recommend the Popeye's chicken sandwich, but it's kind of disappointing.
That's disappointing because it looks so delicious. I got obsessed watching some videos called ASMR. I was like, what the hell is this? It like popped up in a suggested thing for me. And it was this girl just eating Popeye's chicken up close and with an amplified mic.
That's all
my
they do.
God.
Like I would just sit here in the mic and get really close. Actually, I got some Crispix in front of me now. I'll go ahead and we'll have one of these videos right now. You just go through and then you just...
That's just how they do it, too.
Yeah, and it gets like a bajillion views. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that girl, I think she had like
the internet's,
3 million.
Yeah, the internet's weird. Internet's really weird that way.
Well, let me see. Grimbot said ASMR people wank to. I was like, at first thought he said want. I was like, what does he mean want to that stuff? Wank to that. Well, hey, it's all new to me, Grim. I didn't know what the hell an ASMR. I didn't know what this meant, but they sure amplify the stuff. And Leo Convoy.
I mean, it's just like anything. It's like, and then people are like, oh, that's so soothing to me. I'm like, what? It makes no sense.
Well, hey, Lio Convoy's reviews. I think I want to say Lio, not Leo. Lio Convoy said, Nathan, how do you feel now that the newest My Little Pony is over? Because you know you had that collection.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was over. I'll let Emily know. Maybe she'll be kind of sad about it. You know, like I have watched some episodes of that with her. It's not horrible, but it's not. It's just, I don't know. I get why people like it, but it's just, nah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, Matthew Dutch had a question. It said, since you're talking about figures, what one figure would you improve and how? He said, I always thought Faker could benefit from a color change feature. The old put in the freezer and he turns flesh tone, something like that. You know, that would have been different because, I mean, Faker is somebody that could have benefited, especially like, I guess, that could have worked for like the re-release in Wave 6 for him. Maybe do something else because just the sticker. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved when he first came out and the sticker gimmick was like great. It's an evil He-Man. It's a robot He-Man. But as for his re-release, whether it could have had something maybe, I mean, shoot, Roboto was completely clear and he had the chest gears moving. Maybe there could have been a feature if you push and you could have seen through and the gears or something could have moved on his little tape deck thing. I always picture it was like a recording. That would have been pushing it too far. He could have been a tape recorder. Do you imagine that? Pushing a button on the back of Faker and it actually starts working as a tape recorder?
I mean, that'd be kind of neat, but it would probably be pretty expensive.
Yeah, it probably would have. But, man, I think, you know what's funny? It is a character that I thought should have always just had a little more oomph would have been Ram Man. The Ram Man, the one I got when I was a kid, didn't have quite the power, but everyone I've ever seen, he just does this kind of boom. I just wish there could have been some more impact with his bash or something, maybe a little more spring into his spring, no pun intended, but I don't know. I kind of love all the gimmicks. Like all the ones they did, it seemed like that it worked great. I mean, I can't think of a way of stretching it. Unless you want blood squirting out of Mosquito's snout. Like, you know, he looks like it's pumping out and actually squirts out, but then it refills red blood. Like he's sucking in blood and he could spit out blood as an attack too. He's sucking it in for power and he sprays back out to blind you. I don't know. I guess I never thought of it.
I guess I'm gonna answer it sort of differently. I think that, and I don't know if it was more of just like a cost thing to make the figures cheaper, but I think they should have found a different way to attach the legs and make them swivel around from what they did, because most of those don't last too well, especially if they've had some exposure to them. Like, I've had plenty of figures that I've picked up from flea markets where it just snaps off because that band is just it's done.
The rubber does really,
it does, and you end up with the legs just going all kinds of different ways. And it's sort of the same thing with GI Joes. I wish they would have found a way to have the articulation that way, but just differently to where it would last, and you wouldn't have to go in and repair them 30
well,
some
some
years
later. No, it's true. I mean, but some of the later waves, when you think of the Flying Fists and the Terror Claws, they had that different way of the jointed legs. And I couldn't even remember if Snout Spout might have had that too. And it would have been nice if they had that. And like how some people are mentioning, like Fitmon said a hammer for Fisto instead of a sword would have been an improvement. And things like that, I guess that's the other thing, is certain characters that had a weird way they grip stuff. Like, I hated trying to get Clawful's damn mace to hold, or Buzz-Off holding his, or either way, they had issues with their claws. If they could have maybe made the claws different or way of gripping, but I don't want to get too technical.
Well, I always kind of hate when toy companies do that anyway, where it's like, here's an accessory, but it doesn't really fit in either hand. So what's the point?
Yeah.
And they still do that. Like with that Sam figure, for instance. You know what? Hang on, I'll go ahead and grab it.
Let's see the Sam, because I have not seen it. While you're doing that, I'll mention something about some of the other characters then as well. But no, the grip, it's like what I did for somebody recently. I made a Beast Man, but I made his hand to where it's posable, and you can actually turn it back and forth, a vintage one, so he can hold things in a different way, because kind of just the flat out hand in the one way never really made for much. And one other thing to promote, since we are talking about broken leg bands, as you know, for almost 9 years I've been making customs. And when I came to the vintage figures, if somebody sends me the ones with broken legs, I always had to do the eye screw O-ring method. And for those who don't know it, you have to pry open that eye screw. Then you have to put in the O-rings and clamp it and then screw it down in the legs. And it's just a whole nonsense process. Right. It works, but it's nonsense. Miguel Salik, he's the person in the United States that's like official spokesman and salesperson for Leah Toys, not Leo, but Leah Toys. And you can find them through Facebook. They sell bands for the legs, and they're just like the originals, and they pop in so easily. It's as easy as putting the band through the crotch, and so you have both sticking out through the legs, and then you just heat up the leg that you want it in for 30 seconds, whether it's with a hairdryer or warm water. After that, you just take needle nose pliers. Boom! It goes right in, do it the other, boom, and it feels just like brand new. And it's not stupid messy, it's not the screwing in, it's not metal. It's original bands just like the old ones, but they're brand new original bands. I'll try to get you guys some links. Maybe even later after this podcast is over, we can always put links in the description here for that too.
Yeah, just send me the link. I'll go ahead and put it in here. But here's the Sam figure. Looks pretty great. This is NECA put this out. It's the cloth version. They're coming out with an ultimate version that will be all plastic, but I saw this today in Target and had to pick it up. But as you can see here, it doesn't come with multiple hands or anything. You got right here with the lollipop sucker, but then this hand's just wide open, but then it also comes with, like, his trick-or-treat sack to get the food, the candies. Oh, speaking of which, Joe, I'm assuming you went trick-or-treating, right?
All right, Adam Gabbard had a question. Adam Gabbard said,
no, you're not backing off of this yet. You went trick-or-treating, didn't you?
Okay, listen, everybody. I just want to say I'm hungry sometimes, and if I can put on a quick mask and run through the neighborhood and get some candy bars.
What mask did you wear? Did you wear that devil mask?
No, I have a new skeleton mask that I bought. I should have brought it up here, but it's a skeleton mask that when you use on the jaw, the mouth opens up. I'll show it next week. I'll debut that so you guys can see it next week. So
wait,
it's a skeleton.
When you wear it, the jaw actually moves when you're talking?
Yes, because
wear that on retro, man.
Okay, yeah, because it actually hooks to the bottom of your jaw, so depending on how you move it, you can have it move all the time or not at all, but I'll show you how it looks next week. It's
before
cool.
Joe goes into his trick-or-treat thing, because I always ask him about this, but look, all right, so if I have the sucker in here, and we have this here, like, there's no way to really just kind of have that in his hand. I mean, when you stand him up, I guess you could just sort of like, I guess maybe I could like hook that under his thumb, make it look like he's holding it, but I don't understand why they do that. And even then,
No, is this by NECA too? Is that a NECA one?
Yeah. And the way that his hand is here holding that, there's no way to even like thread this through his hand to make it like he's holding on to it. So
that is a shame. Quick thing for Matthew Dutch. A little hunching and a little kind of craziness helps. Plus, there's people in this neighborhood are like over 6 foot and their kids that are trick or treating and they don't care. So don't matter.
Did anyone question you, or were they just like, yeah, okay, here you go?
Well, not when there's people that are, like I said, over 6 foot trick or treating. But no, like I just do the quick little run and hunch. A run and a hunch.
Trick or treat. No, there you go. Do it, Joe.
I always go up there and say trick or treat. And then I get it, and then I take off. I go trick or treat, and I go off and say, "Man, that's free food. Who cares?"
No, Joe.
And it was raining this year, so a lot of kids weren't out. So I'm figuring, hey, I'm doing everybody a favor. I'm
going to get all the candy.
Well, I'm just helping out. That's all. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm saying.
Did you get anything good? Was anyone handing out like full size candy bars, or was it all just like?
I got one full size Hershey. All the rest were like small ones, and then suckers nobody wants, and that rotten ass candy corn. I was like, why do they make candy corn?
No, candy corn's good, Joe. I like it.
Oh, it is? I should take a picture of what's over at my local Myers. There must be like 50 bags of it that's on clearance. Every other candy is gone, but they still can't even clearance out this nasty-ass candy corn. But
I mean, would you buy that if it was cheap enough?
No, not even that. I'd rather just chew. It's like chewing on a candlestick or something. That's terrible. How do you like
dude,
that?
I've like taken candy corn and just like dropped it in my beer before. It like makes it super sweet.
That's sick. All right. Well, I wanted to say, that I think pretty much wraps it up.
Oh, wait. But no, it doesn't wrap it up yet because Adam Gabbard had asked a couple times. You're getting ready to say it, but we went into your whole thing about how you still trick or treat and whatnot. But do you own the vintage Wonder Bread He-Man figure?
No, Adam, I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah, like I said back then. Nobody that I knew ever heard of this. Nobody heard of it until here came the internet, and then everybody got it from their cousin, their uncle, the flea market, garage sale, eBay. But nobody said, "Hey, I got it in the mail." So that's why it's a real figure. Like I said, we just don't know its origin at all. It's not from Wonder Bread, though. We've said it a million times. It is not from Wonder Bread. Don't know the origin, but no, I'm not going to pay that kind of money just for a figure that I don't really know much about. So. Because it goes for a lot. That's an expensive-ass figure on eBay. In fact, people have tried to put fakes up there, and that's what I hate is people
of course. That's the beauty of eBay. Everyone will just... You see that a lot with, like, old Nintendo games, too, that they fake labels everything and get away with it.
That's messed up. No, yeah.
Michael Purvis says Joe puts hot sauce on all of his Halloween candy. I can believe that.
The only hot sauce the only thing that would go good with hot sauce and candy wise is chocolate. I like that mixture. And in fact, people do that. They make those like those one candy bars that are laced with hot pepper sauce or hot pepper extract.
Yeah.
So I always I put chocolate on my pizza when I'd like put Hershey Kisses on the pepperoni. That's tasty.
Wait,
so
what?
I have a kind of weird.
What?
It's a thing I did as a kid. Well, as a kid, do you guys remember the Tony's pizzas, the ones that you'd buy at the store?
Yeah.
And when you bake it, the pepperonis would curl up and they'd have like a pocket of grease in what it looked like a bowl. Well, every one of those pepperonis, I'd like getting Hershey Kisses and putting on top of each one. And it's something I still do now. So anytime I get the pepperoni pizza, I got to put.
Nope.
It's like I'm done.
Yeah,
but it's good, people.
Nope.
No. I wouldn't lie. I'm telling you, it's good. Anybody out there, you try it, I think you'd love it.
No.
Purpose,
Mix candy corn with Frito-Lay's Munchies. When you say Munchies, we're talking about the ones that have like the Doritos and the pretzels and the Sun
and
Chips.
Those curly twist things. Yeah, I think Munchies have a lot of weird things in them, but I just can't eat that candy corn.
You know what? Candy corn with that would actually probably be pretty good.
Why don't you acknowledge somebody real quick, Nathan, with some good news who just popped up in the chat room?
What?
Right at the bottom. Mike Shamp, who just popped up in the chat room. Say something to him.
Oh, yeah. You're the winner of the Power and Honor Foundation book. I can't talk now. It's been going on too long.
His post from last week or something. Yeah, so there you go. You just popped in. Got to hear that, Mike Shamp.
Welcome to the chat. You're a winner.
Exactly. We're almost done. You know how we do it. At the end, we're talking about anything Masters and anything
Well,
else. Except
that's the beauty of
around
it.
here talking.
Yeah, ask us
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, you know what? I do think Joe's stomach's made of cast iron. Like some of that shit
Well,
that he eats, I have no idea how he just doesn't immediately just defecate as soon as he eats it. So.
well, it's just. I mean, if I didn't eat that stuff when I was a kid, I probably wouldn't be able to do it as an adult. I think sometimes you have to, build up that tolerance to it. So, yeah, I mean, if I would just jump right into any of that insanity and the hot stuff or the gross stuff, yeah, probably almost nobody would probably be able to eat that. But I've been just eating a lot of crazy junk and stuff. Like, I remember eating a leaf. But yeah, I pretty much, yeah.
Hey, I remember the edible panties, Joe.
The edible panties, which those were, you guys seen that video? If you haven't, you can go back. We'll link it to that old video where I was eating the spider and the crickets and the panties. And damn, out of all that, the panties was probably the worst. It was just.
We need to do that again. And if you can, you need to find the one where we can get the jelly beans and spin the wheel and do that. I know you've already you've already done it before.
But I'll do it again.
But
we could do it again because there's new crazy jelly beans, and plus we don't even have to spin the wheel. I'm the kind of person that I'm a trooper. There's gonna be one good and one bad. I'm just gonna eat until I get the bad. If I get a good one,
there is a new one.
Yeah, there's a new one. So you guys can, you could send any of that crap, and we could eat that. And during one of the crazy segments at the end, you can watch Nathan maybe almost get sick, and I'd probably have to spit mine up or wear the mask where you slightly see my mouth so you know I'm chewing, so people don't say you're lying, you're not really eating that. But I'll eat it.
All right, it's a deal.
All right. But, okay, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. It felt, great to do this episode 200 and, of course, interacting with you guys. We hope you enjoyed it. And for anybody new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell so you can always get notified when we go live because you never know. It could be earlier and it could be a different day. It's always possible. Mm-hmm. But we love having you here. So until next time, have a powerful day.
I got another softball one for you, Joe, that just popped into my head because I was like, oh, yeah, the wrestling trivia thing.
Yeah.
What was the main event for WrestleMania 1?
Was it Mr. T and Hulk Hogan? No, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan against Piper and Orton. What was it? Damn it, I can't remember.
Yeah,
what was
it? Yeah, you had it.
I was right. Why do I do this? It's what Tyler always hated was when I'd get it right and then I doubt myself. Like, why do I think, no, that's not it?
Because most of the times you get it wrong, so it's all right.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
See you guys. All right.